Hey, good evening. Welcome everyone to tonight's new graduate student virtual orientation. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Whitney Kuhnlins. I'm the Director of Graduate Student Services and Advising here at Lasell University. And I'm gonna walk you through a few things this evening. First of all, I just want to do a quick little housekeeping. Hopefully everyone has used Zoom before, but if you are new to Zoom, I just wanted to show you a few things. Hopefully right now you are seeing our screen, which is where we will have our PowerPoint presentation. We'll show you a few slides. You also should see some little faces, probably my face, maybe some other little faces. That is where you'll see other students and presenters. And then even more importantly is the chat feature. So you should be seeing probably in the lower portion of your screen a little message icon, and that is a way that you can communicate to the whole group, or you can communicate directly to the speaker or someone else. So if you've got any questions regarding technology, that is a great place to reach out to us and we will get your questions answered. So tonight's agenda, how we are going to keep things moving along is we allowed you a little extra login time tonight. I know today's been a special day, so people have been a little behind getting in. And then we are going to do a welcome address that'll be given by our vice president. And then I'm going to quickly go over graduate student services and advising and what you can expect from that side of the house and things that we can offer you. We will have a couple of special guests, including our director of library services, and she'll give a little intro to the library services that are offered virtually and on campus. Then we're going to break you out into groups with your academic advisor. And those will be smaller groups and you'll be able to listen to a few presentation slides and then ask some questions. And that will just be the beginning of a long relationship that you will have with your advisor, and you'll definitely get lots of one-on-one time with her over the next 1.5 to 2 years. Then we're going to bring you all back as a group and we are going to have a current student panel. 4 students today who have joined us to talk to you about their experience at Lasell, tips, tricks, and anything that you'd like to ask them. They're a great group. So if you've got questions, start writing them down, keep them in your mind, and they will be available to answer them. And then finally, we will break you out once more into our program roundtables. Be with your graduate program coordinator, and that is the term that we use for basically a faculty director. This will be the person that will kind of oversee your program area. You may have them in the classroom. You may not get a lot of time with them until you're ready to be wrapping up your program, but they are the expert in our area, and they are a great person to go and meet on day 1 to get some information about your program and what to expect. So that's tonight. Chat away if you've got any questions. And in the meantime, I would like to introduce you to the people who you have probably already met or will be meeting over the next few months and years. So this is our graduate and professional studies team. We have a great team of people that help do all of the work to get you guys in classes, keep you in classes, and then get you across that graduation stage. So starting from the top, we have our leadership. Crystal Porter, Dr. Crystal Porter is our vice president. Then we have Adrian Franciosi, our assistant vice president. That's me next to them. Below, director of enrollment is Chris Gray. Jody Malloy is our administrative support and really the heart of the team. And then we've got a whole bunch of amazing enrollment counselors who you've probably met and certainly gotten to know at least one. Mark Gaffney, we have Laura Moreno, Siobhan Coleman, Candice Obratsov, and then we have a few academic advisors who you're going to get to know later today, Caroline Lynch and Liz Milano. So this is just our team quickly. I hope that you'll get to meet us all in person one day and certainly virtually. And now I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Crystal Porter, our Vice President of Graduate and Professional Studies.
Thank you, Whitney. Let me get set up here. So good evening, everyone. My name is Crystal Porter, and I again would like to welcome you to Lasell University and our Graduate and Professional Studies. We're both glad that you could not only join us this evening, but that you made the decision to join us on the next chapter in your academic journey. Please take a moment right now and just truly take it all in, this very moment. To get here, you've made a number of successful decisions and sacrifices so that not only you could earn your degree, but your advanced degree. So be proud that you set a goal and you made it to this very part of your personal journey. My team and I, we're excited and happy that you chose Lasell, and we're looking forward to helping you reach your goal. As a person who's earned multiple degrees, I would just like to offer you a few words of advice tonight. Make a commitment to yourself to remain teachable. What I mean by this is not to fall for the common traps of thinking that you don't need to learn something new, or that you can't learn something, or that you can only learn a certain type of way from certain types of people. When you're teachable, you can learn from everyone and everything around you, both inside and outside the classroom. Unlike your undergraduate school experience, I can almost guarantee that your classes are going to cover material that you've learned before. Graduate school is the opportunity to go deeper on subjects. So try to pay attention to how the information is being presented to you. And better yet, contribute your knowledge to the conversation and class discussions while considering what your classmates and faculty have to offer this time around. And if your ideas get confirmed, then you're succeeding in exactly what you came here to do, to master the content of your discipline. The members of GPS are here to help. So if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to us in any way, and we're going to help you. And we're going to help you get to the end goal, which is to earn your degree. So again, I want to thank you for joining us this evening. We're so happy to have you a part of the Lasell family, and I wish you the best of luck. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Crystal. You all will hopefully have an opportunity to work with Dr. Porter along the way, as well as everybody else you're going to talk to tonight. So what I want to do now is I just want to give you a quick overview of the next step in the process. You all have really gotten to know your enrollment coaches, and now you're going to be transitioning over to your academic advisor. So on the academic advising and student services side of the house, this is currently our team. We have Elizabeth Milano, myself, Whitney Kuhnlens, and Caroline Lynch, and we are broken out for our advising services by program area. And this is intentional so that we can really get to know your curriculum, your faculty, and help you make choices along the way. We also will be adding a new advisor in the coming weeks. And so these will be shifting a little bit, but for the most part, you work closely with the people you're assigned to right now. So let's see, let's go to next slide. Let me tell you a little bit about what we do. So you, as Crystal was mentioning, this is the higher purpose of education, right? This is the next step. So we are absolutely here to guide you along the way, to coach you, to support you, to be your cheerleaders and kind of your pace card, but you really are the masters of your journey. So we're going to give you tools along the way that we'll talk about when we break out. We're going to show you how to make a roadmap, how to follow your academic plan, and how to stay on task. And then we'll help you when you need a little bit of additional support around an elective or finding a good resource on campus. And some of the things that we will do throughout your program here is offering enrichment sessions or academic workshops. So this is still in its infancy, this slide you're seeing right now, but we're going to start putting some programming together for you. Some of those will be us bringing people on campus to come and host a session, such as library services. Others will be career services visiting, the Academic Achievement Center, and other sessions will be hosted directly by us. So come to as many as you like of these. We'll record as many as we can, but we just want these to enrich and enhance the work that you're doing here. So stay tuned, more coming on those. And then I would be remiss if I didn't mention to you the graduate academic catalog and policies. This is something that you'll also go over with your advisor in your one-on-one meetings, and then briefly when we break out later today. But if we didn't have a manual and a set agreement of our interactions together, then we wouldn't be setting you up on the right foot. So here is a screenshot of where you will find the academic catalog and policies. If you ever have questions about anything related to your transfer credits, academic standing, graduation, things like that, this is where you're going to go to find those rules. You also will find good information about academic integrity and making sure that you are meeting any expectations and citing your work. You'll also find information about our expectations of you for your code of conduct. And if you ever have any questions, you can definitely ask your advisor, and we will refer you to the right place At the very bottom of this page is a PDF to make it even easier for you to find things. So do keep this in mind and just take a moment to refresh yourself in the very beginning of your program. So that was a quick overview. I look forward to introducing you to your advisors in a little bit. But for now, I'd like to bring one of the people that very much serves for your support and your edification while you're here, and that is the director of our library, Anna Saranesso.
Hi all, thank you so much, Whitney. I'm Anna Saranesso. I'm the library director here at Lasell, and I just wanted to give you a very quick overview of the library in case you do need it before those upcoming sessions. But as previously stated, we're hosting 2 orientations for graduate students of our library services and our library resources. They're on February 7th at 3 p.m. and February 10th at 6 p.m. And I just kind of, for now, want to show you very quickly how you can get in touch with us either before then or at any point in the semester so that we can help you with your research. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Absolutely. Let me give you the screen. There you go.
Thank you so much. So our library website is library.lasell.edu. And this is where we have sort of everything for you all here on the library website. And what's really important, if you can't remember anything else from what I tell you, is that this is where you'll find out how to contact us. So you can always use this button for a chat with a librarian. And you can instant message with us and ask us any quick questions or even, you know, set up a longer meeting or maybe jump onto a phone call or a Zoom right from that chat. Additionally, you can call us at this phone number and you can email us at library@lasell.edu. So we're here to help you with your research papers, your projects, your presentations, and we're, you know, we're so happy to do that one-on-one work with you. But if you want to do your own research, maybe you just got out of undergrad and you feel really comfortable, this big search bar here is our main tool that we use. It's called Laser Search, and it searches almost all of our research databases and ebook collections. So you can start your research there for any of the work that you're doing in your classes. And I just want to let you know that we are also part of the Minuteman Library Network. So as a Lasell student, you are now part of the Minuteman Library Network, which is mostly a public library. If you ever want to use that network, you can just you know, get in contact with us and we can help you with that as well. So that's another sort of aspect of our library services, is you have that wide 40+ library services that are available to you, which is really helpful if you're local. So again, this is the website where you're going to find out almost anything that you have questions about. But even more importantly, please contact us, and then please, if you're able to, come to one of our orientation sessions. We'll also be recording them, so if you're not able to, hopefully you'll be able to watch one of the recordings. And thank you. That was all I wanted to share with you today.
Awesome. Thank you, Anna, so much for taking the time to chat with us and tell everybody the library is super important. And I've used the chat myself as a staff member, so it's a great resource. Right now, we're just going to ask you to hold on for a second while everybody is broken out into breakout rooms, and you will be getting the advisor presentations for a little bit more in-depth information.
I'll just start. Okay. So hi, everyone. I want to thank everyone tonight for coming, especially today. It's a obviously a really busy day. We're meant to stay in our country. And I just want to thank especially the student panelists for taking the time out of their busy days to join us and tell us all a little bit about Lasell. So what I'd like to do is now can someone give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Perfect. Okay. So what I'd like to do now is literally read off these very helpful instructions that Caroline provided on how to switch your Zoom call to speaker view. Okay, so for all of you joining the meeting from your computers, from a desktop, if you look at the top right corner of your screen, you should either see speaker view or gallery view in the top right corner. So gallery view allows you to view all participants, while speaker view will allow you to see the panelists as they respond to questions. So if you could switch from gallery view, please simply click the word speaker view. And for those of you that are joining from phones or tablets, you'll need to begin by tapping your device screen and swiping either left or right to exit gallery view and return to speaker view. And you'll know that you're in speaker view when I'm the only one video on your screen, since I'm speaking right now. Okay, so now I'd like to go ahead and introduce the panelists. And as I introduce them, they're going to please tell us which program they're in and where they are in their journey in their program here at Lasell. So Ashley Dalton.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I am in the moderate disabilities program, and this is my last semester, so I'm done in May. So
No way!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I look forward to your graduation. All right, Kevin Ambrose. Kevin, you're on mute.
There we go.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Kevin. I'm in the Masters of Science in Marketing, and just like Ashley, I'm also graduating in May.
Wow. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a fun graduation. Okay, Kevin, thank you. Emilia Lopez.
Hi, I'm Emilia Lopez, and I am a graduate student studying for my MS of Science and Communication with concentration in negotiations and conflict resolution. And I've only taken 2 classes so far. So I'm still in the beginning of everything.
That's great. So we have different perspectives. Thank you so much, Emilia, too, for joining us tonight. And Jordan Villalon.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jordan. I'm halfway done with my focus on my MBA with a concentration in project management.
Thank you very much, Jordan, for joining us as well. All right. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start asking questions. And Jordan, since you're on the screen, if you can go first, put you on the spot. What is one thing you'd say that you wish you knew or wish you'd done in your first session at Lasell as a grad student?
So coming in as a grad student and not being so fresh with knocking out schoolwork, I wish I would have allocated more time, more cushion time than I did at the beginning. It was just good to relearn APA style for writing different methods and preferences that professors wanted as it relates to that. Also just allowed some cushion for mishaps. So I was juggling 3 jobs at the time, and everything fit in a specific window. And it worked out fine when everything was fine. But when different things came up, it was really challenging for me personally to adapt and adjust. So I would say create that time window and then add an extra cushion of time just in case.
That's great advice. Kevin, what about you?
I think for me, probably, I wish I reached out to my advisor earlier. Off the start, I thought I could kind of just plan it out, all my courses and stuff, and finish it on my own. And then after I think it was the first session, I was like, wow, a lot of stuff going on here that I need some help with. And I actually reached out to Caroline. We talked on the phone for a little bit, and then within like an hour, she had an Excel spreadsheet with all my classes, everything planned out until I graduated. And it was the most helpful thing of like my whole program.
Awesome. Awesome. Ashley, what about you? What would you say?
A little bit different than Jordan. I went right from undergrad into graduate, and I was like, oh, like it will be fine. I'm used to school. But it was just such like a change of pace because I was working full time, which I'm sure like a lot of you will be doing too, or just have like a bunch of other things going on. And it was kind of like, obviously like undergrad was a lot of work too, but it was like less like fun and like it was more like you have to buckle down and really like kind of start pushing along. So it was definitely like a lot of like self-discipline to be like, all right, like you need to like Jordan said, like you need to allot yourself a good amount of time to get your stuff done and really stick to it. Or else it could become a little overwhelming, but.
Got it. Got it. And Emilia, what would you say? I know that you just started the program. What do you feel that has helped you to be successful?
I feel that constant communication with my advisor has helped me to be successful because I actually completed my undergrad over 20 years ago and had never taken an online class before. So all of it was pretty much new to me. And just the, trying to figure out how to, manipulate Canvas and, where exactly do you log on to take the class? I mean, it sounds, minuscule, but the advisor helped me with a lot of just very, very basic questions after being out of school for such a long period of time.
Okay. And I mean, that I agree with you 100%. The advisors are there to help for sure. What would you say, because I know you work lots of hours, what would you say is your best tip for managing your online schoolwork and work, personal life? What would you say your tip would be?
Yeah, that's I work a lot. I'm an engineer and I work for the power company, and so we're on call 24/7 whenever there's storms or whatever, and there's been a lot of them. So at times I work 80 hours a week. And so the best tip is always don't take 15 minutes or 20 minutes of spare time for granted. If you can do some reading in those 15 or 20 minutes of downtime that you have, if you're grabbing a bite to eat or anything, that makes a big difference because the amount of schoolwork, the amount of reading was just so overwhelming to me, again, after being out of school for so long, but also taking an 8-week class as opposed to, a 16-week class. It's much more condensed. So my tip would be don't take any time for granted. Time is precious, and you don't, say to yourself, well, oh, I don't have, an hour to dedicate today to schoolwork. Well, do you have 15 minutes? And if you do, make it the most effective 15 minutes that you can possibly have, and that will help with your load throughout the week.
That's great. So you were really great at carving out some time to help yourself reach your goals.
Yes,
that's great.
Definitely.
And what about you, Jordan? What's your tip? What would you say?
I got 2 time management techniques that are, I think, tangible and useful for everyone right away. One of them is the Eisenhower matrix. Just Google that, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Essentially, helps you allocate which tasks are urgent, which ones can wait, which ones have to be done now, and which ones can be postponed for later. The second one is the Pomodoro Technique, and it's essentially a timer that goes off every 25 minutes, and it allows you to document what you've completed within those 25 minutes. It's kind of just a race against time, race against yourself, really. And you just know that you're locked in for those solid 25 minutes. After you get a 5-minute break, and then you start again with your 25 minutes. So those 2 have been really effective for me.
That's great. Ashley, what's your tip for balancing everything?
I really like what Emilia said. Well, what both of you guys said about time management and kind of really like taking every minute that you can get to be productive. But I think on the other side of it, something that was hard for me at first was like taking time for myself too. So whether that just be like 15 minutes to go on a walk, or like it was kind of really hard to balance like going to the gym and stuff. So if you're like, oh, I'm really tired, like I don't have time to like go to the gym, I don't have time to read, like kind of do those things for yourself to kind of take that self-care, just do something you enjoy. Obviously don't take too much time, but make sure you're giving yourself that time to kind of reset and relax on top of getting all of your other stuff done.
That's a great point. You want to recharge, and okay. And Kevin, what about you? What was your tip for balancing?
I mean, kind of going off what everybody else said, it's kind of just, you got to find that groove that works for you, just the habit, get in the habit of doing the same thing over and over again. I got used to finishing up my shift at work, coming home, doing homework for an hour, And it was just that every day. And then after the first couple of semesters, I was just used to it. Even now, like while I'm on the winter break right now, it feels weird getting out of work and not having homework to do and stuff like that. And I also think it's important too to kind of like make sure your people around you know that you're doing this program, you're doing school. I made sure my friends knew, like on a Saturday and stuff like that, might not be able to hang out. I have some homework I have to do. And it's just making sure they understand that and don't bug you and stuff, just trying to get your homework done.
Okay. So Kevin, let's stick with you. So with the exception of our athletic training program, all of our programs have at least an online component. Most of the programs can be done completely online. So that being said, how would you say that you were able to connect with your peers, your faculty members in an online setting?
So pretty much every course I've had so far, there's been weekly discussions that go on in the course. I think that's the most important thing that helps with communicating with everybody, just going back and forth with people, talking about different projects and stuff like that, topics throughout the week. And even just the professors being so flexible. Even if I just had a question in the week, most of them would be able to set aside a time just to set up a Zoom call, just one-on-one, just to chat for a little bit. And that was super helpful.
Awesome. Awesome. Emilia, what about you? What would you say has been helpful about connecting with your peers and faculty online?
Again, the classes that I've taken so far have been completely online, so I haven't even set foot on the campus, unfortunately. So the discussions like Kevin just brought up between the the students in the classroom, that's really the only connection that I have to other students. So I think in the beginning, the 2 classes that I've already had, the first assignment is, get on the message board and, just do a little description about yourself and then comment to another 2 classmates. So that was socializing, but socializing, online, a little chat room thing. So that's, you do with what you have, and, you can't do it in person, but it can certainly still be done online. So you do feel those connections to your classmates.
Awesome. Jordan, how would you say you've been communicating with your classmates and peers, connecting with them online?
I would say take advantage of that first introduction when everyone is introducing themselves, because like Emilia mentioned, at the beginning, it may not feel like much, but as you go into your program, you'll realize that those communications are huge. And if you start off strong by getting to know your classmates, you might make a connection that you didn't really expect. And with somebody that may have a completely different background than you, I think those have been really important for me. But I would say start off strong and don't be afraid to meet someone. Everyone, all my classmates have been really incredible. My professors have been really incredible. So just connecting with folks and not being afraid to go beyond and maybe connect on LinkedIn or exchange phone numbers, have a Zoom call, FaceTime, just set something up, because folks are really great.
That's great, because you're developing your own network. So that's fantastic, Jordan. Great. And Ashley, what would you say? I know that some of your classes have on-campus meetings since you're in the Master of Education program, but a lot of your program is online. So how are you connecting with your faculty and peers online?
I think, Jordan, what you said, like, don't be afraid to like reach out and like make those connections. So before this semester, I would meet on campus for my classes. They're 8 weeks, and we would meet like 3 times in those 8 weeks. So it was much easier to be able to see people in person and kind of just like have that like small talk and like make those connections. Online, it is like a little trickier, but really use those discussion boards. I'm never afraid to like email, like sometimes I email classmates, and if I'm looking to like collaborate or if I need help, definitely reach out to your professors. They're great. Mine will, like, I'll email and ask a question, and most of them are like, oh, like, I'll give you a call. Like, what time are you free? So everyone's so welcoming and just easy to talk to. So it's not difficult to put yourself out there, in my opinion. So definitely make those connections. Everyone's really great here.
Ashley, let me ask you questions, because I know you know Lasell really well and you've been on campus. Can you tell me, imagine that you haven't been on campus before. What resources do you think that a student that's 100% online could use very easily at Lasell? and would be helpful for them?
I personally think, I don't know, people have different preferences of how they like to work. Normally I'm okay, like in my own space, and I'm fine to work and study, but lately I've had to like go elsewhere. So I highly recommend either going to the STC, the Science and Technology Center, and you could do work there, or in the library. They have study rooms. They also have tutors there who are always willing to like help out if you need it. I feel like that's my biggest thing, is like, even though it's COVID, there's still places that you can go. I think you have to get tested before you come to campus. I don't know how it works, but there is quiet spots that you can go, and it is really helpful.
Have you found that using the online resources through the library through your program have been helpful?
Yeah, so I last semester and this coming semester, I'm taking a research course, and I'm glad you mentioned this. It was a lot of work, but I literally chatted with the librarians and like emailed back and forth, and they set up Zoom calls with me to help me find scholarly resources. Like I said, we emailed. So if you are able to get on campus and you need some help, or you have a research class or something of that sort, there's wonderful staff in the library that would be more than happy to set up a Zoom and chat with you that way.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley. Kevin, what about you? Have you been using the online resources as you've been a student at Lasell?
Yeah, so being in the marketing program, most of the papers I write have to do with research and things like that. So almost every assignment I do, I'm using the resources online from the library to find sources and research papers and things like that. And even stuff that I'm struggling to find, a quick email out, they get right back to you. They can help you find exactly what you're looking for, and it's super helpful.
Okay, sounds good. And Emilia, what about you? Have you found a resource that's been helpful for you as a new online student?
The only resource that I've used so far has been the library to get articles. And actually just listening to Ashley right now, I didn't know that you could set up a Zoom call with the librarians. So that's something that I just learned. So thank you for volunteering that information, because of course, I'm going to be doing a lot of research going forward. So, I mean, that's good to know.
Awesome. Awesome. Jordan, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I would second on the library point, and I would add that not only are the librarians excellent with getting you resources, but they're also able to tap into different libraries that have additional information that may not be available to us, and getting it right back over to us. So that's an incredible online resource. I would say the career services are incredible with looking over your resume, helping adjust it and completely reverse engineer it or redesign it if need be, depending on a job or a certain direction you think you're interested in. They also provide mock interviews and can really put some other resources in front of you. So those two online components are excellent. I went to Lasell undergrad, and in my time between undergrad and graduate school, I was still able to tap into those resources, and it's a smooth, easy process. They're extremely responsive.
That's great. That's great. And you bring up a really good point about career services, because it's important for students to know that they don't need to wait until they graduate. They can utilize those services from the second they start their program, and they're happy to set up appointments remotely. So that's totally fine. What would you say, Jordan, while you're on the screen, what would you say is either your favorite part of grad school or the favorite course you've taken so far?
My favorite course has been the economics course I've taken. Closely rivaled by the statistical analysis for decision making that I've taken. Just the professors were excellent, and I really enjoyed the setup of it. For my economics class, not only was it was compatible with, the book was compatible with a YouTube channel. So I would ingest information in written form, and then I would hear it in audio form. And before that section was done, I had ingested it 3 times, written, auditory, and I wrote down notes, so it was 3 times that I took it in, and it was great. My favorite thing about grad school is just the development I continue to have, and seeing how granular I can get with the information that I'm learning. I really, just your thinking changes, and you're doing it around great people. So
Nice.
that's my
Okay.
favorite.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And Emilia, what would you say is either your favorite part of grad school, or out of the classes you've taken so far, which one you've enjoyed the most?
The one that I've enjoyed the most is negotiations and conflict resolution. That has a lot to do with my previous position and also with my existing position. I am a manager that leads a unionized workforce, and that brings challenges every day. And so the case studies that we were assigned were extremely pertinent, and I could really, really relate to them. And I brought, my 30 years of job experience into the class.
Awesome.
So that's been my favorite class so far.
Very cool. Okay. And Ashley, what would you say is your favorite part of either going to grad school or your favorite course so far?
I think that my favorite part of grad school is that what I'm doing directly correlates with what I'm doing at work. And I can I'm lucky to be in person at a school. Even if I was online, I could still take pieces of what I'm doing and incorporate it that way. It's just really great, and it kind of brings everything full circle. I think Lasell does a really great job at that. And my favorite course, I think, and also one of my most challenging courses was, I think it's called Teacher as a Researcher. But it's a year-long class. So the first semester, you're kind of picking a topic to research, and then the second semester you're doing action research. So you're actually going into the school and conducting a study on the topic that you've chosen. And I think it's definitely something that is out of my comfort zone a little bit, but it's something that I'll be able to take with me forever, and something that I'll be really knowledgeable on. So it's been
You put into practice what you've learned.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Kevin, what would you say, and just end the night, what would you say is either your favorite part of grad school or the favorite course you've taken so far?
So I'll give you 2 things for my favorite. I really like that since I did my undergrad at Lasell, that I'm able to reconnect with a lot of professors that I had during my undergrad time, and kind of catch up. That I think that's awesome. And just throughout the courses, I love how I'm able to apply what I'm learning to my full-time job and show up the next day, talk about stuff I learned in class and stuff like that. And I think my favorite course, I haven't taken it yet, I'm taking it this semester, is the internship course. I haven't taken it, but I'm super excited to be able to apply an internship towards credits to this class and even learn in the workplace while still learning about all this different marketing stuff and things like that.
Oh, that sounds so gratifying. That's great. I really, and Caroline, we actually ended on time. And I want to thank all the panelists. Do any of the students that are attending have any questions for our panelists? If so, please feel free to throw them in the chat. Well, you've been so thorough, there are no questions. So again, thank you so much, really, especially in these crazy times. I really seriously appreciate you taking the time out to share your experiences with us. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Candace, you truly were a master of ceremonies just then and kept us right on time. We are about to head into the graduate program roundtables.
Can I just answer one question that was thrown into the chat that I just noticed, Caroline, super quick?
Absolutely, go for it.
So a student was asking how many classes they're able to juggle alongside a full-time job. So I'm not sure if the panelists are still here, if they want to answer, but I can answer that as well.
Yeah, I can jump on and answer.
Oh,
real
perfect,
quick.
Kevin, great, go.
So working full time, when I first started my program, I I only took one course to start just to kind of just ease into it because I didn't really know what I was going to take on, just to kind of get a feel and just kind of get used to being back in school after 2 years being off. And then from there, I just kept adding on one or more course. In the fall, what I did is I split my courses. I took one main course across and then took one in the fall one, and then one in fall two. So I kind of split up the two sort of intensive courses across one main course. So I ended up taking 3. It really comes down to whatever you're comfortable doing and how much free time you have. But I think you could probably juggle maybe 2 or 3, just depending on how used you get to it.
I agree. I've also done 2 to 3 classes in a semester. It's definitely can be challenging working full time, but it's possible.
And Jordan, if you can jump in and answer the Eisenhower matrix that you shared, the name of the second program app that you used, if Jordan's still here. And if not, what we can do is circle back to Jordan, get the information and email it out. Oh, and we're recording this, so beautiful. We're gonna send this out to everybody. So that way you can just refer back. Any other questions? Oh, look at, okay. Steve, thanks for taking such great notes. Awesome. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Caroline, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you, Candace. And thank you, everybody who participated in the panel. We're just going to be breaking everybody out into breakout rooms now by program. So if you can just hold on one moment, and you should get a notification to move over into your breakout room.